Morning everyone, I hope you're doing well today. Thank you for tuning in as always. Big shout out to all the subs. Gratitude to anybody new, welcome along. This video we're going to be talking about how to jump rope for you, the beginner. Getting started for you as a beginner is perseverance, and that's it. And keep it simple like this. When you can perfect this and do this well, right, then you can start stepping it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to explain what rope you might need. An industry standard rope for jumping for boxers, right, is a PVC. I'll put it up on the screen. That's the material. I'm going to basically break it down from the very start, how to get started. See, my arms are quite close to my side. This is it. 2 steps, and then we're going to go to 1 step, just like that. What jump rope actually does. A lot of things translate to boxing. Rhythm, footwork, coordination, timing, what moves to do, a couple of little tricks. And, you know, just to get you in the right place. And a few mental tips as well that will really help you develop your not just ability, but maybe just desire to want to jump rope too. If you're focused, disciplined, and, you know, mental fortitude is switched on, and you're willing to just push past it, you're going to get the benefits, and it's going to be great. Because it is an amazing thing, especially for a boxer, but even just for cardio, you know, it really is, especially outside, a beautiful day like today, in a bit of nature, exercise, sunshine. What could be better? So let's get into the video. All right, guys, so first things first, obviously you're going to want to get the right rope, right? What is the right rope, first of all? And how do you know? Stuff like that, you know, part of this is going to come down to you, of course. Different strokes for different folks. But an industry standard rope for jumping for boxers, right, is a PVC. I'll put it up on the screen. That's the material, right? Roughly 6 millimeters. I think this is a 6 millimeter one, right? The feel of it and the weight of it is quite nice, right? You don't want a cheap sort of I don't know what material it is, usually cotton, or like, you know, the holders are kind of flimsy, and it's just not going to help you with your ability to even really want to jump rope if you've got a crap rope to start with. So definitely, and these aren't even that expensive. I'll put a couple of links in the description box, and that's really important, right? Getting a rope that you're comfortable with straight off the bat, because, you know, it's going to feel comfortable, and you're going to be able to, you know, persevere through the frustrating part of jumping rope if you're just starting, because that's a mental part I'll get into in a minute. But I'm going to be all over the place in this video. I'm going to be jumping around from place to place because I forgot my bloody stand-up thing today. So I left the house and I was like, damn. So if the angles are a bit low, that's why. Anyway, get a good rope. Secondly, right, you're going to make sure the length is good, right? Meaning, okay, well, you know, you don't want it too long. A lot of times the ropes will be too long, right? You've got to make sure when you stand on it, it comes up to your armpit roughly. It's going to be different for everybody, but roughly this is a good place to start. And, you know, you want to be able to jump rope where the rope isn't too long or definitely not too short, right? It's really important. And one thing you can do is I'll just show you right here. See the knot there? That is shortening it, obviously. So you can adjust it with the PVC ones. You know, not everybody needs to do that. If you've got the right size to start with, then, you know, it's probably better to not have the knots. But if you've got one like this where I need to shorten it, and I've gotten used to the knots in it because it feels good right now. So that's another thing. All right, let's start with actually how to jump rope. Let's move on. It's quite windy today, guys, so if the audio is a little bit harder to hear, you know, apologies. You never know what kind of weather throws at you, even though it's a beautiful day. And it is. There's New Jersey right there. It is a little windy, so I'll do my best to find the quieter spots. But we're going to move on here. I'm going to start on how to actually get started jumping rope. Let's go. Shout out to Baz as well, who is from the UK. He's got a channel. I'll leave the link for his channel in the description, and I told him I'll make a video on jumping rope. So this one's for you, mate, and for anybody else watching. Okay, first things first, right? You don't actually even have to jump rope, but you can just do this, right? Where I've got my hand on both handles and I'm kind of moving my feet and I'm just swishing this rope round and round, right? Because then you can start to get the movement with your feet in, okay? Without actually having to deal with the jumping rope, so you can get used to the rhythm. Which, as this fun, I'm going to just drop little things to remember about why you should jump rope and what it does, and helping your rhythm is definitely one of increasing your rhythm as a boxer, you know? Like, you could basically take this rope away and think that I was boxing right now. So you can add that rhythm to it, your coordination, right? Building your coordination. Coordination is absolutely massive in boxing. Obviously cardio, endurance. I know those two things aren't exactly identical. I'm not exactly sure of the full difference. But when you do double unders or you do this, what I was saying, when you do double unders, which is I'll get into in the next spot, or there's a couple of spots along, you can really get the heart rate going, right? You start lifting those knees up. So even if you wanted to do this, right, without jumping, you can do that to get used to it. It's all about getting used to it. It's all about persevering. And a big part of this, getting started for you as a beginner, is perseverance. Right? You're gonna get frustrated when you're gonna get the rope tangled up, either like this, or if you're jumping rope and you're doing this, it's like really frustrating. I get it. I've been there. It's very frustrating, but part of that is the mental discipline, if you will, to keep pushing through, break through that frustrating part, because past that, once you get past it, it's quite fun. Some people say it's boring. Yeah, if you do it for long enough, sure, but if you're focused, disciplined, and you know, mental fortitude is switched on, and you're willing to just push past it, you're going to get the benefits, and it's going to be great. And it'll be just like I said, a beautiful day in nature, sunshine, exercise. What more could you want? Anyway, on to the next spot. Common mistake beginners do, right, is they'll start off so wide like this, right? And, you know, it makes it a little bit more difficult. You don't have as much control over the rope, right? At least for me. You know, this right here is it's just going to take more time. The connection between your jumping and the feet is a little bit harder. So, you know, if you need to start off a little bit wider to start with, fine. But try to get your wrists and your hands a little bit closer to your hips, right here. And then what I'm doing, this is a little bit more advanced, but I might as well tell you now. I'm using my wrists to just kind of drive, as opposed to being static like this. Right? I'm kind of being a bit loose with the wrists, try and give you a different angle. So they're just right by my side here. Just nice, letting the rope do a lot of the work actually, right? As opposed to this, where it's like taking more time. The rope doesn't even get as much speed, right? So try to avoid that. Yeah, another thing, and this is just simple, this just applies to anything when people try to do something too fast or too advanced before they learn the basics. You know, I'm gonna show you about double unders and crisscrosses soon, and a few other little moves with your feet, and that's based upon the fact that maybe you should try to get the basics before you do those. Not saying don't do them, it's just a bit of advice, because it can add to the frustration if you're not getting that clean, effective technique with those stuff. Get the clean, effective technique. When I mean that, I mean just this, right? Now I'm going to show you in a minute with a bit more light how you can slowly get started with this, which is this, where I'm jumping twice. All right, I'll pull it up on a different shot. In 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See, my arms are quite close to my side. This is it. 2 steps, and then we're going to go to 1 step, just like that. Right? My feet are hitting the ground twice, and the rope is going over. Right? I'm not very good at doing that because I haven't done it for a while. But so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? And when you've got that, then you just cut the steps out. Okay? And that's it. And keep it simple like this. When you can perfect this and do this well, right, then you can start stepping it up a little bit. Yeah, throw some crisscrosses in there, or some. God, this is like the most professional video I've done for a while. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to do my best with forgetting that equipment and actually dealing with jumping rope is actually, you know, with this mic stuff as well, it's a bit more difficult. Anyway, let's move on to the last spot where I'm going to really bring it together, because I can really jump rope better there because it's concrete, which I'll talk about as well, because not everybody likes concrete. Let's go. So a quick recap before I talk about any tricks or anything like that. Once again, you know, the frustration part of actually, well, start before that, getting the right rope and having the right size and feeling comfortable with that rope is very important to your progression. Then getting past the mental frustration. If you're constantly doing it and you're doing this and you're getting frustrated and you're doing that and you're getting frustrated, you just got to keep going. Yeah, it's determination, it's discipline. It's like I said, being mentally switched on just to understand that you have to go through that to get the better stuff. Perseverance, you know. So that those things right there, very important. Then keep it simple, right? You've got to crawl before you walk. This right here is fine. That's all you need to do. You can do this, and once you start doing this, and that's when you can start developing other stuff, right? So, but you can't start with the other stuff consistently without doing this. It's kind of like the fundamentals where I keep drilling home, right? Fundamentals, when you have the fundamentals of boxing, you know, footwork, jab, step back, jab, you know, keeping your hands up, moving your feet and having a good jab. Once you have those, then you can start to bring in all the more creative, flashier stuff. Maybe not as a beginner for flashy, but you know what I mean? When you have the basis and the foundation, all the other stuff is easier to do off of that. Whereas you try and apply that in reverse, no way. Finding your rhythm, right? Like I said, I'll try and zoom in on this because this is really important. This is where you do like 1 step, 2 step, 2 steps, 2 steps, 2 steps, right? I'll do that again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See, my arms are quite close to my side. This is it. 2 steps, and then we're going to go to 1 step, just like that. And that's how you get from, you know, part 1 to part 2. And this is part 2. Nice and relaxed, consistency. And my arms are down by my side. My wrists are controlling the rope. The rope's doing a lot of the work, and I'm feeling comfortable. All right. And if this happens, go straight back into it. And if you need to double up again to get back in, so be it. Get back in. And once you get back in, try and hold it. All right. And just start to enjoy it if you can. Relax. You know, you don't want to be stiff, just like boxing. You don't want to be tight and stiff. It's a good way to even think about it. We'll start being relaxed, jumping rope. You can translate that. A lot of things translate to boxing. Rhythm, footwork, coordination, timing, relaxation, stamina, endurance, technique. Did I say that? You know what I mean? So let's move to one more spot, and I'm going to just turn it up a little bit. Yeah, so double unders, right? Where you are basically, the rope is going over twice to your one jump. Now I'm not going to do it while I'm talking because the phone will drop out and stuff like that, but when I'm done, I'm going to do some faster paced jump rope. I just wanted to let you know now what a double under is, all right? This is just a normal one, and that's a double under with, you know, not the correct finish. Right? It goes under twice. I'm going to do it closer here. So doing that will make your heart rate go up tenfold, right? But as I said, get familiar with the basic, get comfortable with that. No harm in trying and practicing a double under, but don't get stuck on it, right? Another thing is called a crisscross. I'm just crossing over at the time. Let me slow it down. As I come on here, right, this part here is when it jumps under and it flings it up. I can't do it like that now, but crisscross. I'm not great at it, to be honest. I don't do the crisscross tricks that much. I do the double unders because I know they're going to get me cardio. The crisscross is helpful for coordination for sure. I just focus on the double unders and just staying relaxed and going up and down with my tempo. And I'll do a few other little foot tricks right now, which you can try. You know, you can get creative. You can go on one knee. You can go on one knee. You can do knee ups like this, right? Main takeaway from all of this, for me, my advice to you is sticking it out, right? Getting the right rope, feeling comfortable to start with, but sticking it out and getting past that frustration phase, perseverance, and then just start to build your confidence with it and start to enjoy it and get the benefits from it. But go at a pace that you can do. Stick to the basics, stay comfortable. Try the tricks if you want, for sure. Definitely the double unders if you're looking to improve your cardio, definitely. Obviously the crisscrosses will help your coordination and start to cross your arms and the legs, and you know, you're really building the coordination in your mind. But it's really up to you what you want to do. Whatever you have to do that makes you better at it. Obviously practice a lot, but sticking to it, all right? This is probably the most unprofessional video I've done so far. A lot of dodgy camera angles and you know, a few little imperfections, shall we say, but you know, it's all part of the channel. I try to bring a bit of creativity and a bit of art and just real life passion, love for the sport, love for teaching, love for helping people. So if you are new and you know, you are a beginner, or if you're learning, if you're even an intermediate, because I teach punching at quite a high level, I love it. I'm very passionate about it, so that I'll bring some of that into the channel quite a bit, and you know, just do my best to put out the best content every single week and get better and better. But anyway, that's it from me. Go buy yourself a rope and get on it. Thanks for watching. Bye.